Hi and welcome. My name's Tolan and I'm the co-founder of ProductivityMe. In this video, we'll address the application level keyboard shortcut Alt F4, a strategy used to close single windows and/or applications. As is so often the case, one way to close a single window is to use your mouse and to click the X-shaped System button located on the upper right corner of that window. Alternatively, as we mentioned, you could also use Task Manager to select that application window and then press the End Task button within the Task Manager dialog box. If you're using Windows 8, a third strategy that you could use in order to close an application would be to use the Taskbar Preview function. Let's say that you want to close one of your two Microsoft Word documents. You could thus scroll down to the application icon on your taskbar of Microsoft Word, take your mouse pointer and pause over that application icon. This would bring up a mini preview of your open Microsoft Word documents. Then, once you have a mini preview of your windows, you could move your mouse to the window that you'd like to close and click the tiny little red X that appears in the upper right hand side of that little preview window. This would close the targeted document and you could then proceed with other desired actions. That being said, a fourth and perhaps preferred method to close application windows is to use the keyboard shortcut Alt F4. Alt F4 is an excellent shortcut. If you want to close an application without having to use your mouse, then first, make sure that you have the application properly selected, meaning that it's your active application. You could do this by using any of the keyboard shortcuts that we covered earlier in the series. For example, Windows 4, Alt Tab, Windows T, so on and so forth. Once you have that application selected, then use the keyboard shortcut Alt F4. The result of Alt F4 will depend on whether that application window is the only application window active in your application, or instead, if there are numerous windows currently open within that application, you will get a slightly different result. If you have multiple windows open within an application, then using the keyboard shortcut of Alt F4 will close one single window, and you'll still have that application open with all of its other windows. If, on the other hand, you were to have only one single window open for that application, then using the combination of Alt F4 will close out both the window and the application itself. Hence, if you were to use Microsoft Word and only have one single Microsoft Word document open, then pressing the combination of Alt F4 would close both the single application window, i.e. the Word document, and the application itself, i.e. Microsoft Word. Thus, if you then wanted to use Word in the future, you would have to go back and relaunch that program. Now let's look at a quick example of what might happen if you had two Word documents open in that same program. Let's say that you had two existing documents open, one titled Marketing Plan and a second called January 5th Memo. In this case, each time that you use Alt F4, this combination will close the active application window, i.e. the Microsoft Word document that you most recently used. Thus, if you were to first select one of the two document windows and then press Alt F4 once, this action would close your first Microsoft Word window, i.e. it would close the Marketing Plan document, the document that you most recently used. Once you've closed the marketing document file, your operating system will default to making the application window that you most recently used your active window. In the case of this example, your operating system would make the January 5th memo your active window. Hitting Alt F4 a second time, after you've already used it once to close out the marketing plan document, this action would do two things. First, it would close your active Microsoft document, i.e. your January 5th memo. And because the January 5th memo was the last document open in Microsoft Word, that keyboard shortcut of Alt F4 would also close out the application of Microsoft Word itself. As I mentioned above, this is because once you've closed all but one window in Microsoft Word, pressing Alt F4 exits out of both the application and the window. Boom, it's gone. In our next video, we'll cover the in-application level shortcut of Control F4, a great addition to your productivity arsenal. While Alt F4 will close both your final application window and the application itself, Control F4, on the other hand, will allow you to close your final application window while keeping that application active. As is our ritual in this series, I'd like to take a moment to say thanks for watching. Cheers!